Tony Walker. There they are. God, that's not even 3/4 of the way over, and nobody told me my TV was still blaring in the background. That was not Tuesday. But in case you were asking, I do have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. I decided to have some Nescafe since I ran out of Folgers. Ryan, I don't know what restaurant you were eating at, but I want to go there. I'll just sit there at the bar and have a glass of water and deal stuff. Fuck's sake. How do I go back and change that? Well, that's a good thing because my doctor's appointment's on Wednesday. Twin Peaks. A TV show. Twin Peaks. That's not as obnoxiously denigrating to women as Hooters. I mean, so you call it Hooters, but you put a big owl out front. I want some big transgender guy with a beard, big fat guy, beard. Like what? Who was that Canadian teacher? I'm gonna have to wind up taking this live stream down too. I deleted the one yesterday because I just can't seem to keep my big fat fucking mouth shut. What's up, Eddie? Never mind. That's a lot of delay. Not really, but. Randy was talking about cleaning his fretboard. I just use like a damp paper towel, just a shitload of elbow grease. I don't think he cleans this at all. Like that up there, that's probably Virginia Slims and Despair. That wouldn't come off up there. So, but man, I've already got like a right there. I've got a dent right on the G string. I'm just not using stainless frets. But the Invader Strat, my favorite guitar, man. It needs a refret. It's bad. And Randy keeps saying, you know, I can get a replacement neck for probably $300. Under $300. But yeah. First world issues. Dude, that's perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, Johnny Heartbreak. Yeah, my 4-cylinder Hyundai speedometer goes up to 140. Why? I was pulling out of the parking lot at the Schlongbong store, I don't know, a few months ago. And I think I hit a little sand coming out of the parking lot. My little Hyundai chirped the tires, man. I was so proud of it. Little Hyundai, yeah. I can't even get the tires to squeal slamming on brake. I know. Dude, do I need to put you in timeout? Somebody's messaged me. Who's that? Send Steve the link if he wants to come on. I pinned the comment, but I don't think I put it in. There you go. Let's see if he wants. There's several people in the my local guitar community that they want to come on, but it's like they can't figure out how to fuck do it. What's up, Zach? What's Steve doing? Hold on. So Ryan, your guys were on for a couple hours and nobody played guitar. Just don't really want to come on. Well, I know some of you guys have jobs. Here's the retirement. Here's the swimming with bow-legged women. Trust me, if I had my druthers, I'd rather be managing music stores. I had so many people tell me, manage music stores? Supposed to be nice to sit around and play guitar all day. Yeah, that's what I did for 17 years. Just sat around and play guitar all day. Oh, Tuesday's a chill chat show. Chill chat. Here's just being a stay-at-my-home mom with 2 wild toddlers. My condolences. Did you have a druthers? Didn't Burger Queen turn into druthers? Remember Burger Chef? Man, Burger Chef's double cheeseburger? Fuck. Yeah, I think Burger Queen, out of all the burger, I think Burger King's the only one left. It's either Steve again or I just had a bright idea. You just finished teaching for 3.5 hours. You're grabbing a bite and a drink. If you're still on when I'm done, I'll join you. Okay. That's probably a no. Ryan, have you been drinking? My hands are. You're in bed? Okay. What else we got here? Let's see. Got, there we go. Night Groove backing track in A minor. He just did it in A minor. Oh, and it gives me diagrams to play if I want to play. What was it? I could do the funk one again. I'll do this before Steve gets here. is what the fuck? Is that a porn bomb? Oh. I tried to get you on. Come back on. Click it again. Brian, if that was you, I think I clicked remove instead of add panel or whatever. Try it again. Bruno. Okay, that's enough. That's enough funk. That's a little over halfway through. That's enough funk. I can only funk so long. I can only wall funk so long. Brian, was that you that came on? I think I clicked remove instead of... You can still click on it again, right? I just saw somebody dark waving or something. The microphone's in the way of the. You know what I'm saying? What? Wait to see if Steve's going to come on. He may. I got the funk song out of the way. What else we got here? Oh shit, we got the Pink Floyd in G minor. I better get this out of the way. Cinematic Desert Highway rock guitar in minor. Oh yeah. Is that the Eagles or something? Steve won't come on until this is over. Ah! I'm just getting this out of the way. Dude, there's another one I can pull up in E minor. It's like 25 minutes long. We'll jam to that one. And I just lost Steve. Let's see Cushman down here. Here you go. Like, Cushman. Wow. No. He won't let me. Oh, but he's not here though, so. How's it going? Look, I don't know if y'all know, even when Steve is not here, my Jitterbug keyboard, the lights still automatically change all by itself. We do not charge extra for that. That's a free exclusive from Guitar Talk Universe. No more Zeppelin medleys. Okay. I don't know if y'all heard, but Ryan from OU812, the reason it was not on their show tonight is Ryan was at the Church of Voodoo putting yet another hex on my 2007 little Hyundai Elantra. 2 days ago, my AC compressor broke. But luckily I have spare air conditioner by rolling all 4 windows down. That really helps when the heat index, like today, was 105. One thing I loved about my little Hyundai, man, was the air conditioner was, you see your fucking breath in that car. Yeah, it won't do anymore, man. So I was Googling. I don't know if you all get what I'm doing when I do that. I was Googling. Just like air compressors, they're like $650. Ladies and gentlemen, fresh back from the Twin Peaks where he had like a burger with some bacon and hot girls running around. Brian from OU812. What's up, bro?
What's happening, man?
I was saying you were apparently at the Church of Voodoo putting yet a hex on my Hyundai's air compressor.
Yes.
And that was correct. A good day to do that because the heat index was 105, I believe.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, perfect day. I picked the perfect day.
Yeah, that.
A special hello and shout out to Sarah. I'm still waiting.
But you're still waiting to see.
Just saying.
So what's new? What's good? Anything new?
Well, I completely missed my show tonight.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it is what it is.
First world issues, right?
Nobody wanted to see me anyway.
They didn't play a lick. I know they just talked about pickups, and Randy told me to.
How long you been watching the show, Quentin?
Shut up.
Or the
Quentin.
Chat show, where we talk about gear and we nerd out about the little idiosyncrasies.
That's why Randy and Jimmy both had guitars in their hands.
Correct. Yeah, just that's their comfort blanket, so they can talk about guitars.
Well, he did play the Rat song, and for what's his face? What's his name?
For Dan Gorman.
Dan Gorman. I don't even know his name. But I still have to do, even though he's not in the chat, I don't believe.
No, you don't have to do it. You don't.
Okay.
You really don't.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Apparently, I'm having issues with days of the week. It's actually not Monday.
No. It has been Tuesday all
Apparently
day.
Tuesday. And in about 4 minutes, it's going to be Wednesday.
Yeah, for the next 4 minutes, it will be. Still.
Well, Steve Brand uses a metric system, and it just confuses me sometimes, even though I don't use it.
Right. Well, what can you do?
I saw you driving around confusing people. Apparently, you actually use your turn signal when you're turning.
I do. I try to make sure that I follow the rules of the road. Use
and you
turn
don't
signals.
You don't turn left on the far right lane.
No.
Was that guy was like, I turn left now.
Right. All the way from over here.
Oh my God.
I do tend to my windows are tended pretty dark, so at night I roll the windows down so that I don't get pulled over because of tinted windows. So,
have you had them tested?
No. Why would I have them tested?
Because they could pull you over for having tinted windows, even in the daytime. If they're too dark, I mean.
Well,
are they,
in the daytime they don't typically bother you. So.
Is it stock or aftermarket tint?
Oh, it's definitely aftermarket.
Yeah.
Second day I had the car, I brought it. I was like, yeah, make them dark.
I'll give you. You got 2 windows or 4?
It's a 2-door.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Okay. So you got. I'll give you a tip that may get you out of a ticket. If you ever get pulled over, put your car parked, put your flashers on, throw both of your windows all the way down. If it's nighttime, turn on your dome light, keep both of your hands on top of the steering wheel, and don't move them. When the cop walks up and sees that, he will relax a whole bunch.
Right.
Or he's going to think you get pulled over all the time because you're turning on your dome light and got your hands up.
Just making it easier for him. Yeah.
Exactly. You make him feel more relaxed. You're more apt to maybe just get a warning or whatever.
Yep. And then when they say something, I just say, I don't answer questions.
No, you say yes, sir, no, sir, and shut the fuck up. Yeah, well, luckily I have a dash camera, but I've actually never. Have you ever had a ticket? I've never had it. Well, I've had like a headlight out ticket because you get in your car, you turn your lights, you don't know you got a headlight burning down.
It's been a very, very long time. But
I've never had a speeding ticket. I've never had a moving violation ticket.
It's probably been over 20 years since I've had a moving violation.
I was in a real bad wreck when I was like 17. A buddy of mine, we went out and went to the Pussycat a Go-Go. Then we went to White Castle, and we were lucky we didn't do it. It was bad. But I've been such a defensive driver just my whole life. Because, people are stupid out there.
Well, you know what they say, defensive driver, offensive guitar player. Hang on. There we go.
And
off I go.
No, I don't want to click the remote. I think I did that last time.
It's going to boot me.
You got a guitar. You want to do, what do you want to do? You want to do the keep going with the G, or you want to do the Pink Floyd and E? That's a long one, and Steve hates it, so let's do that one.
G? What the heck is G?
The one I was just playing was G minor.
Oh. I don't know where that is.
Where'd the Pink Floyd go? Right there, backing.
Is it going to be loud enough for me to hear it and play to it?
I don't know. Steve always says like my, let's see. I'll just start playing it.
Sure.
It's all the way up on YouTube.
I can adjust my levels.
Okay, that's as loud as I can go.
What's that one?
Yeah, it's E minor. I cannot edit your mic settings for some reason. See how loud you are. You're a tad bit loud. Just a little bit. Okay. That's fine.
You go first. I need to make some adjustments. last note.
Wow, I think we played through the whole thing. That was a lot of Floyd.
That was a whole lot of Floyd without a Floyd.
Yeah, I got to play.
Oh, I don't.
On the Sector Sun Valley Super Trailer 3?
On the Les Paul custom vintage. Whatever, blah, blah,
Shit.
blah.
All right, your Les Paul sounds pretty damn good. Okay, you happy?
It's all right. Well, what else? What else is going on, Quentin?
Let's see. The rent goes up next month. My AC compressor died. They slit my throat next month. But Reggie and Todd are doing fine though. They're having a ball
That's
over
good.
there. They're gay, but
Well,
they're,
you know, if all else fails, you know that you always have dinner for at least one night.
yeah, a couple little chicken nuggets. Well, they made some eggs, but I need like 40 of them to make any type of sandwich. So that's not working out too well. I mean, Todd will get up on my finger. He's okay. Reggie's kind of like Randy. Just doesn't like me a whole lot for some reason.
Always telling you to shut up and all that kind of
I
stuff.
know, right? I had to send him a short little video of the Phil McKnight ice cream store video.
Right.
Because
Right.
that's just epic. I mean, I think all of us have gotten burned with Yarick Hunt or something on a live stream, but Phil, oh wow, he just walked right into that wall so hard. So yeah, I had to keep that video. So you were going on a selling spree. Did you get some gear? My Gretsch is still up for sale if you know anybody's interested.
No, I just had Charles was interested in the Roadcaster, which he purchased.
Oh, did he?
So he'll be jamming out with some awesome tones soon. He also was interested in the Synergy, so I went ahead and just sent that to him to let him test it out, see if he
Check it
likes
out. And
Yeah. So yeah, lots more stuff that it doesn't have to move right away, but
right.
eventually it will.
So did Randy just really get fed up with Synergy and give up on him, or what's
No.
he? Or is he just?
He's getting repaired, and I think he should be back in business.
I know tonight he was talking about he had two of the Fortin or what, I don't know which ones they were, but two of them that both of them just didn't fit, and apparently that was an issue with some of the Fortin stuff, or
Yeah,
just the Fortin wouldn't fit, and
I guess a lot of people were having that issue.
yeah, but they, I mean, he's bought some significant amount of Synergy. They should just like, dude, here,
Well, I
take
think
this.
I think it's still under warranty, his unit. So
Yeah, but it's still, you're at least a month or two without. Well, anyway,
well, that's why you got backup,
I know it's first world issues.
Yeah.
You doing something?
Let me give it a go. E.
Sure. I don't know that.
There you go. There you go, Quinn.
Well, there you go.
Well, sir, I am out of here.
You know, I think I'm out of here too. It's actually 12:30, and
I gotta get to bed.
I go see a doctor about my thing.
About your thing?
Yeah. No, it's just pain management checkup. You know, you got to do that once a year, and so they'll stick needles in me tomorrow. I might have to tinkle in a cup, but that'd be about it.
Well, that's not too bad.
Well,
thanks for having me on.
There's a monkey playing a guitar, a chimpanzee, miscreant. Oh yeah. All right, yeah. Thanks for stopping in, dude. Really, seriously.
See you.
Okay, we're gonna end the stream here.